A London-bound Air India plane carrying 242 people crashes shortly after takeoff in Ahmedabad, Western India. The local police chief tells the BBC that 204 bodies have been recovered. It's not known how many of those victims were on the plane or were on the ground when the plane crashed. One passenger has survived, a local police chief says, with Indian media reporting he is British. Vishwas Kumar Ramesh, who shared a picture of his boarding pass with reporters, says, 30 seconds after takeoff, there was a loud noise, and then the plane crashed. It all happened so quickly. There were 169 Indian nationals, 53 Britons, 7 Portuguese nationals, and 1 Canadian on the flight, Air India says. The plane crashed into accommodation used by doctors. One woman describes how her son survived by jumping from the second-floor window. An Air India passenger plane bound for London Gatwick crashed shortly after taking off in Ahmedabad on Thursday, leaving at least 204 people dead. The flight was carrying 242 passengers and crew when it was involved in what the airline has called a tragic accident in the city in Western India. Ahmedabad's police chief told the BBC that 204 bodies had been recovered, while 41 people were being treated for injuries. He earlier told news agencies there appeared to be no survivors from the crash, and that some local people would also have died given where the plane came down. Air India Flight AI-171 left Ahmedabad's Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport at 13:39 local time, 8:09 Greenwich Mean Time, Air India said. It was scheduled to land at London Gatwick at 18:25 British Summer Time. The plane crashed on departure from Ahmedabad, where all operations have since been suspended. Verified footage taken in central Ahmedabad showed huge plumes of black smoke in the sky. The BBC's Roxy Gagdecker said people near the scene were running to save as many lives as possible. He said emergency services were involved in a rescue operation and trying to extinguish a fire, and described seeing bodies being taken from the area. Indian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ranveer Jaiswal told a press briefing that we have lost a lot of people. Ahmedabad's police chief G.S. Malik told the BBC 204 people had died and 41 were injured. It is not known if those 204 were all on the plane or were on the ground when the plane crashed. He earlier said there appeared to be no survivors from the crash, and some locals will also have died given where the plane came down. There were 242 passengers and crew members on board, according to Air India. Among the passengers were 53 British nationals, 169 Indian nationals, 1 Canadian national, and 7 Portuguese nationals. The aircraft, a Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner, had a total of 256 seats on board. An emergency center has been activated and a support team put in place for families seeking information, Air India's chairman Natarajan Chandrasekaran said. Gatwick Airport said a reception center for relatives of passengers was being set up, where information would be provided, and that it was liaising closely with Air India. It said on X, British nationals who require consular assistance or have concerns about friends or family should call 0207 008 5000. The aircraft involved was a Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner, and the Air India crash is the first time it has come down like this. The model was launched 14 years ago. Just 6 weeks ago, Boeing lauded the fact that it had reached the milestone of carrying 1 billion passengers. Air India operates a fleet of more than 190 planes, including 58 Boeing aircraft, according to its website. In a statement, Boeing said, "We are in contact with Air India regarding Flight 171 and stand ready to support them. Our thoughts are with the passengers, crew, first responders, and all affected." Air India confirmed on X that the flight was involved in an accident today after takeoff. It said it was fully cooperating with authorities investigating the crash and would provide further updates, and has set up a dedicated passenger hotline to provide further information. 1,800 5,600 and 91 444. The airline's chairman, Natarajan Chandrasekaran, said in a statement, "We are doing everything in our power to assist the emergency response teams at the site and to provide all necessary support and care to those impacted." A spokesperson for Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport said all operations had been suspended until further notice, and they advised passengers to check with their airline before traveling to the airport. India's aviation minister said he had directed all aviation and emergency response agencies to take swift and coordinated action. Ram Mohan Naidu Kanjapur added on X, "Rescue teams have been mobilized, and all efforts are being made to ensure medical aid and relief support are being rushed to the site. Officials have been instructed to carry out immediate rescue and relief operations and to make arrangements on a war footing," the Chief Minister of Gujarat said. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi said he was stunned and saddened by the crash. "It is heartbreaking beyond words," he said in a statement on X, adding he had been in touch with officials assisting those affected. UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer said the scenes emerging from Ahmedabad were devastating. "I am being kept updated as the situation develops, and my thoughts are with the passengers and their families at this deeply distressing time," he said. Foreign Secretary David Lammy said the UK was working with local authorities in India to urgently establish the facts and provide support. The king said he and Queen Camilla were desperately shocked by the terrible events in Ahmedabad this morning and extended his sympathy to those affected. He said in a statement, "I would like to pay a particular tribute to the heroic efforts of the emergency services and all those providing help and support at this most heartbreaking and traumatic time."